And a very good evening to you. I am Griffin Epstein, joining you from the PHS Gym live here for the Varsity Girls Basketball SCL Semifinal 2018 as your defending or your undefeated SCL champion Petaluma Trojans take on the Annalee Tigers. Trojans 12-0 in SCL. They have won 13 straight games. They have been dominant of late, but they are going to be really challenged against Annalee. Yes, Annalee's record's 13-13, 7-5 overall in league, but there was a clear top four here in SCL, and Annalee has provided a lot of challenges so far for the Trojans. They just played 2 weeks ago. The Trojans got out of Sebastopol to clinch the SCL title with a 47-43 victory. Annalee just hung around that entire game and really played very well. And in the other game, the Trojans had a statement victory that put them in first place. They came back from a 13-point deficit to defeat Annalee 60-52. But this Tigers really are playing good basketball. They've had some tough losses, Healdsburg and Sonoma, but they're going to challenge the Trojans tonight. Annalee getting introduced. We are going to get a nice video to intro for the start of this one. Lights off. And we'll be getting that video for you in just a moment, made by yours truly.
For your 2018 SCL champion, Petaluma Trojans. A junior, number 10, Kylie Pink.
Here are your starters for Petaluma.
Number 11, Nicole Costa. A senior, number 21, Courtney Temple. A senior, number 24, Kelsey Martin. And a junior, number 24, Jaden Chris. Currently coached by John Ratchet, assisted by Sophie Finn and Gretchen Hoffman.
make sure to record once the game starts. Good luck. All right, that was the national anthem and the introductions, and we are looking forward to what should be a very good one here between Annalee and Petaluma. These teams always play close, no matter what it seems like, and boy, the Trojans have been playing well. We are excited to see how this one pans out. Ben Vandermeer on camera to start here. Annalee is coming off a loss to Healdsburg, 49-36, that dropped them into 4th place in SCL. We mentioned they lost to the Trojans up in Sebastopol, 47-43. They also lost to Sonoma Valley, 38-33. Those are the 2nd and 3rd place teams in SCL. The winner of this one will play the winner of Sonoma and Healdsburg at the SCL Tournament Championship game up at Santa Rosa Junior College Friday night, 6 p.m., and we will be there live for that one as well. Jaden Chris the tip, and boy, has she been playing well of late. Got a double-double on Thursday night in this. The Trojans clinched an SCL undefeated title, had pulled down 12 boards, had 14 points in that one, and chipped in 6 blocks as well. 4 away from a triple-double. You never see that in the girls' game. She wins the tip there, but the Trojans have gotten production up and down their lineup, and that's how they've gotten 13 straight wins and got their way through an undefeated SCL title that no one saw coming. Nicole Costa, the team's captain, with a 3-pointer short off the mark. Appreciate everyone tuning in live. Feel free to comment on the live chat, and we'll get to you as soon as possible. Tigers were the favorites coming into SCL this year, and it's really, they've been disappointed with their performances. They have the talent, but sort of the opposite. The Trojans just haven't been able to put it together. That is off the foot of Claire Brown, one of the 2 captains and leading scorer on the Tigers, and she's been one of them, especially against the Trojans, just hasn't been able to get her scoring up. Has really struggled at points, especially against this Trojan defense that has been so dominant. 38 points allowed per game, and what a performance last Tuesday night and senior night as Costa's 3 is off. Chris pulls down another board, or, well, her first. That will certainly be many tonight. Trojans allowed only 18, yes, 18 points to Sonoma Valley as Kylie Payne hits the 3 to open up the scoring. Now that's good news for the Trojans. Sharp shooting 3-point shooter, the leading 3-point shooter on the Trojans. Trojans allowed 18 points to Dragons, who actually finished 2nd in SCL on senior night last Tuesday. A virtuoso defensive performance. They've only put up 25 points themselves, but it was just enough to pull out the victory when they got hot in the 4th quarter. Out of bounds on the off the Trojans will be Annalee ball here. Trojans leading 3-0. 6:45 left to go here in the 1st. Good inbounds play, and the bank is open for Julianne Brose, who has given the Trojans some trouble at times. Alea Armstrong, mostly Jaden Chris and her have done battle as Courtney Temple, it's a jumper. But the power forward, Ambrose, it's been a little bit harder for Costas. A little smaller to guard as Ambrose, here's my praise, and 6 that 3. And we are tied at 5. Annalee's going to have to hit some 3s tonight if they have a shot. Trojans build a wall around the paint. If you've been watching a lot of these games, you hear me say that over and over again, but they really, especially in that 2nd game up in Sebastopol, they did not let the Tigers enter the paint at all, and they were regressed to hit 3s. They hit a few, but it wasn't enough to beat the Trojans. They did a good job hanging around. They fought valiantly, but the Trojans have found ways to pull out games all season long. It has been remarkable, the poise they've shown from a team last year that was 5-7 SCL. Didn't even make this SCL tournament last year. Finished tied for 4th, lost the tiebreaker. Great aggressive move by Martin, who lays it in. And that's another Trojan that liked to get a little bit more confidence. Such a game of confidence as the Tigers turned it over there. Bad play by Brown. Martin had maybe the best game of the season by any Trojan. 24 points against the Tigers on that Trojans Friday night 60-52 victory when they came behind from 13 points. But since then, Martin's been pretty quiet, including on her senior night where she was honored and had a lot of support, but just has struggled shooting-wise of late. Good job by Chris getting inside, and she forces the foul. And she's just a stronger player than Alea Armstrong. And she can't just bowl over a Leia Armstrong like the 5'11 Jaden Chris can do some smaller opponents, but she's just a little bit more versatile, a little bit more skilled, and if the Trojans can get it to her on the right spot on the floor, she is so hard to stop. Hits the first, but issue that we have seen has been Trojans have almost forced it into Chris too much, and it's so important they want to get her involved, but they need to be smart about it. That was an issue last Tuesday against Sonoma Valley. Really helped the Dragons stick around. Trojans couldn't score. So far, not a problem here. 8-5 lead. Great move by Laura Mernon to drive inside, and Annalee showing some ability to score some very aggressive drives to the rack. And they found a few holes in this Trojan zone defense, and teams haven't been able to do that all season long. One of the best defenses in the county, no doubt. Hey, Matt. Matthew Kalemba is going to be joining us soon as well, or replacing Ben Vandermeer on camera. Trojans leading 8-7 here, 4:47 left to go in the first. First thing, the scoreboard cam, for some reason, we can't get it to work. I don't know if the cable or what, so if you want to check that out. And then Ben has to go soon, but he can go a little longer. Sorry, small crew this evening, so just working out the details there. That's really good defense by the Tigers. They're clogging those passing lanes. They're seeing where they're trying to force it to Chris. Just out of control there on the other end, though. Alexis to being a really aggressive player, but she's got to do better on knowing what's smart and what's not. They get it back into Martin, and she hits again. Martin getting going. 4 points for her so far, and they found some seams for her. Chris can be great bait even if she doesn't score, and forces double teams, forces hard defense, and that can often really help open up other players. Shireen Ericat will enter for the first time. Courtney Temple, who had a rare bucket in that first quarter, good to see the senior hit one, will exit. Hausman will enter for Annalee, who, as that three is too strong from Ambrose. Hausman was featured on the Max Preps Top 10 back in January when Chris can't barely hold on to it. Martin gets active again and can't finish. Gets her own rebound. Oh, Ericat with an offensive board. All these second chances for the Trojans are going to be deadly. Then a travel. Anyways, Hausman stole the ball from a Healdsburg player. This was in the opener, the SCL opener for the Tigers. Stole the ball and was able, as she fell down, sitting on the ground on her rear end, she was just threw up the ball and banked it right in. It was a remarkable play by Hausman, as Chris is called for the foul here. Shooting foul. Actually, foul on Ericat, my bad. No shooting foul. And Hausman number 3 on that Max Preps top 10 plays of the week. It was a remarkable play. You can check it out on maxpreps.com.
Griffin, do you see it?
Yes. Junior guard. pick up that intensity when they've struggled. As Cassidy Bacon gets the friendly roll. Bacon only averaging 1.5 points per game, mostly in for her defense, but she hits the three. Everything is going down so far for the Trojans. They have put up 20 points in this first half. Question is, as we said, can they keep this high level intensity, high level of play up for all 38 minutes? And that would be something special if they could see that.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2
on mic in just
1
a
2
moment.
1 2.
20.8 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Shot clock turned off for the Trojans. What a first quarter they have played here offensively. And Trojans just against Sonoma last week looked like they lacked play calling, lacked
Mic
ball
check,
movement.
1 2.
Oh, we're on me right now. Looked like they lacked ball movement.
Mic check.
But lately,
Check,
or at
check.
least in this quarter, the ball movement's
Okay,
been
good.
perfect. The inbounds plays have been pure, and they are hitting their threes better than any game I've seen. It's 23-8. The Trojans are on fire. Three is well off the mark, and the Trojans have a 15-point lead. Wow. What a fabulous first quarter for the Trojans there, Matt. Matthew Kalema going to join me in just a second, but that is everything you want to see from the Trojans in a quarter, especially offensively. The ball movement was there. They really seemed confident. They had plays worked out, something that I don't know what they were practicing the Monday before their game last week, but the ball movement wasn't there. The play calling wasn't there. Tonight so far, Matthew, we have seen the play calling has been perfect. They've had inbounds plays to easy lay-ins, and they've gained confidence. They have hit
Based on what I've seen in the last time that I was here with you, the Trojans have improved their confidence greatly, and they're definitely they're not as scared as they were the last time I was here, which is exactly what they need to be doing in this postseason.
And I think a wake-up call last week, they only put up 25 points against Sonoma. They still got the win, but it was a really ugly game offensively, really struggled for a lot of the points.
And it definitely looks like Coach Ratchen's been working very hard to improve that.
And that's huge that you see that drive from this team, and they're continuing to work really hard to improve. And this is a really good Annalee team. Both games they played against the Tigers were in single digits for most of that game. But the way this offense is going, if they can keep the strong defense that's always strung up, this could get out of hand.
Oh, yeah.
See,
I mean, just into the second quarter now, and both teams already have five. No, my bad. Looking at that wrong. I was going to say both teams have 5 team fouls, but I was just looking at the scoreboard wrong. Yeah, 5 timeouts.
Sierra Atkins at the line just entered for the Tigers, and they're going to have to find some way to get going offensively. They were aggressive to start early in that first quarter.
And then the Trojans, they just slipped a little, and the Trojans took advantage of that.
It's so hard. If the Trojans can keep this offense going, the level of intensity and play from Annalee has to be kept at a ridiculously high level that they haven't been able to maintain this year. Not a good decision there. Annalee applying a little
It looks like the ball went right off the leg at the last second.
Right off Catarzoli's leg. And Tigers have to make something up. Miguel Gomez knows the Tigers can play with the Trojans, and they have the talent to, absolutely.
Good block by Lily.
Wonderful play by Catarzoli to get a steal. Trojans force so many turnovers, and it really helps them get out of break.
Nicole had the
wonderful passing, and there are
That's really good. Nicole looks like she had the chance for the 3, but decided to pass inside to give her other teammates some chances.
Even the better pass. That was Spurs-like passing. This is the best game I've seen the Trojans passing. There's tic-tac-toe, and then there's a level above tic-tac-toe where everyone knows where everyone's going, and it's just perfectly in sync as the 3 is off from Lucia Jamu. 25 points put up in just 9 minutes. The Trojans had 25 points in 38 minutes last Tuesday.
Huge improvement after that game.
Eric Cat trying to get in on the party, but that one a little bit off. And that's not the shot you want to take. They then get 5 crisp, clean passes as Costa swats away another one. They got 5 crisp, clean passes, and
you definitely see Costa's game is very on point tonight.
Absolutely, and she has such great intuition and ability to anticipate the ball and the shots, and she had 5 blocks, including I think the block that was probably the difference against Sonoma last Tuesday when the Trojans were only leading by 1. Is the 3's good from Atkins. She just has a special instinct that's really fun to watch.
Exactly, and that's everything that we can ask for in a team captain.
25-12 here. Annalee cuts it down to 13. They're going to need a run, but they're going to need to force the Trojans to go cold, which
drives right in and is able to draw the foul.
Era Katz plays with such fantastic aggressiveness. Only a sophomore, but second on the Trojans and scoring at 8.9 points per game, including leading the Trojans up at Sebastopol 2 Saturday nights ago. 16 points against the Tigers that lit them in that victory.
And for high school, that's very impressive.
Absolutely, and only a sophomore, but
and she's still growing too. She's not like physically 100% mature yet, so her game's only going to improve as she gets stronger.
Absolutely, and she's already does such a good job finishing through contact. That's so hard, especially in the girls' game, and plays with a high level aggression that you don't always see. Just out of control again by Annalee, and they had a rhythm going, as you said, for those first 4 minutes. Hit some threes, had some nice passes, and got some holes and some doors open on drives.
Looks like Annalee was holding them down right there. Oh, that was a smart play right there, crossing the court.
Well, good job to get out of the break, but lately for Annalee's offense, they're sort of just driving and throwing up wild shots. It's not effective.
No. Annalee's are just getting too far in the hole right now, and they're just trying to get out, and it's not working right now.
Drive in by Atkins, and they'd love to get in transition, help some numbers. That would absolutely help them. 14 foul on the Trojans. Foul on Bacon, who's played well, already hit 2 threes tonight. And Trojans on fire in that first quarter shooting. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Feel free to comment in the live chat. We'll get to you as soon as possible. You can
there is no echo right now. That's been resolved.
Oh, there was an echo.
There was an echo, yeah.
Apologies for that. Matthew Clem also doing a great job producing tonight. Ben Vandermeer on camera.
Wearing official Skills USA gear right now.
Oh, he looks pretty nice.
Where's your JSA gear, Griffin?
Oh, I was wearing it earlier today, actually.
JSA versus Skills USA right here.
Atkins splits the pair. Lead cut down to 12, and Annalee's applied a little bit of a press here. That's been effective. Great pass into Scacalosi, just a little bit too far under the rim.
The passing along the baseline is just beautiful right there.
Really in great rhythm, but that's not the shot that Chris wants to take. Needs to follow Nicole Costa's lead. Take that extra pass, as you said.
Exactly. At the time, it might not seem necessary, but it will make a difference in the end.
Absolutely. Jumper up by Brown. You can like this video. Also subscribe to the channel. Get an email whenever we go live. Great outlet pass. Scacalosi just could not finish. That was a wonderful pass. Jump ball force there with some aggression.
She's able to hold on to it, and it looks like jump ball for the Trojans.
And Trojans do a great job of forcing jump balls. It was just looking a little loud.
Yeah.
Oh, Pate wide open.
Oh.
Just
I'm just looking at my audio. Yeah, my audio looks good. I'm when I talk a little louder, yeah, you can lower me slightly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Travel called. Trojans, no.
Annalee's just having a rough time right now.
Annalee's struggling at the moment offensively, but the Trojans have started to cool down after that scintillating first quarter where they put up 20.
Trojans need to hold their lead right now and give us some good defense.
So hard to keep that intensity up after you get up by 15 and haven't seen as good ball movement. That was hard for Scacalosi inside.
Right now, it seems that finishing is the main problem with the Trojans. They've had several opportunities. It's just that last little bit right there.
And good defense by Shumu. Beautiful backdoor pass. Oh, my goodness. Bree Lawrence just couldn't finish. Oh, she had the bunny there. 4:40 left to go here in the second quarter. Trojans leading by 12. Annalee's certainly not going to go away. This is going to be a battle throughout. There's no doubt about it. Trojans go back inside to Eric Cat. They need to move that, or they
and she got the foul call.
Eric Cat used that aggressiveness. And one from Sharina Eric Cat. Costa pumped up for her teammate.
Absolutely amazing play right there.
That's what we talked about with Eric Cat's special play.
She's able to drive in, get the layup, and she's able to go right in through the foul.
6-team foul on the Tigers. Trojans will be in the 1-on-1 bonus. The next foul. SCL Tournament Semifinal game here. Winner goes on the SCL Tournament Championship game. That will be on Friday, this coming Friday the 16th from Santa Rosa Junior College, and we will be live if the Trojans can get the victory tonight. We'll be live at 6 o'clock from the Junior College for that big match. Trojans looking to take home the trophy after they've already taken home the league pennant this year, undefeated SCL champs. Wouldn't that be something special, Matt?
Right back where we were last year with the boys.
Yeah, well, the boys made it to SCL Tournament Championship game last year. Weren't able to win it. Lost to Annalee. But boys could still, speaking of the boys, could possibly be there. They are up at Healdsburg tomorrow. First place Healdsburg. Boys finished in 4th in SCL. Oh, we've just lost the camera. Oh, now
there we go.
Apologies there. Boys will be up at Healdsburg tomorrow. Need a victory there to go to the SCL Tournament Championship game. Can't rule them out. Only lost to the Grounds by 8 on Friday, but it's going to be tough sledding for them. We'll certainly be live there if they win that one as well. It's our next scheduled live stream. Chris will re-enter. Scalcalosi out, and good to have Chris in there. She just helps offensively so much, moving the ball around. As a beautiful drive inside by Costa. That was halfway down. She was already headed down court. Thought certainly that one would fall. But couldn't. Trojans have gone cold. Oh, you're going to go foul there. Yes, they do. Tough call there. They've been calling it pretty tight so far. 15th foul of the Trojans. No shot. They'll keep it on the floor. Trojans also looking for their 14th straight victory. They're 18-2 of their last 20 games, and they remarkably competed SCL undefeated, and they found ways to win close games. They had a lot of single-digit games against Annalee, against Pioneer, against Sonoma, overtime against Healdsburg. But every time they've kept their poise, and even though they're really a younger team, Matt, they found ways to finish games, which has been truly remarkable.
That's all we can ask for. The JV team is just amazing.
Travel carry by Pate. Didn't like that call, and a little bit of
nope, neither did Coach Ratch, and he did not agree with that.
He's having a conversation with the man in stripes, and Trojans unfortunately have progressed to a much colder state here in their offense. Only 8 points so far in this quarter, but you're not going to be able to hit as many threes as that first quarter. Crazy three ball put up, and Annalee just throwing up shots right now. They are not confident offensively. They get anything going against this tight defense for the Trojans.
They're just trying anything they can right now.
Well, it was a great pass to Chris, but she just couldn't handle the hot potato. Tiger ball. Trojans turning it over a little bit much here, and that's been an Achilles heel this year. Last year, 9.7 turnovers. Actually gone up this year to 10 turnovers, and they've shot so much better. 6-point percentage better field goal percentage, but turnovers have still been an issue this year. Something to work on, as there always is. Hard fought rebound pulled down by Armstrong, and Trojans would love to get Alea Armstrong involved as jumper off the mark there.
You see Annalee is trying to hit a lot of threes right there, but another thing that they're doing, they're making really obvious passes too, so the Trojans can easily read it.
Yeah, and the Trojans are so intuitive and do such a great job forcing turnovers. They have such a tight, harassing defense. They're not afraid to get fouls. And saw that Annalee trying to run an inbounds play there, but the Trojans are just a step ahead of everything. Martin had a nice early 4 points. Oh, wonderful pass to Eric Cat. Forces the foul. That was just wonderful. Eric Cat and Costa and Chris, those three of them have a triangle of cutting and passing that's special. And you saw, if you were watching the player intro, you saw a couple of those highlights of almost no-look passes. They knew where they were going, and layups that just totally fooled everyone else.
Exactly.
And that's that practice, that hard work that they put in, and great job by Coach Ratchet and still stalling it as well. Eric had it's both, and the lead is out to 17 now, the biggest lead of the game here for the Trojans. Annalee's going to have to find some offense, or this night is not going to end well. Jumper off the mark there. Tigers have 3 points in this quarter. That's just not going to do against the first-place Trojans. And their defense has no doubt improved there as Costa can't hold on to it. But mentioned maybe Alea Armstrong inside is scoring. She had 8 points and helped keep the Tigers in that game against the Trojans. She's the big girl against Chris. How do the Tigers maybe get her involved, because they're not hitting their threes right now?
Well, what they need to do right now is they are just trying to stay out wide and just put it up. What they need to do is work on at least getting the points, maybe taking that chance. They need to get 33 in the key to get their offensive rebound, and then just put it right back up and at least get the field goal in that turn.
And you want to get pull Chris outside of the paint. There she read the pass, got to the ball handler as Eric Cat couldn't finish the offensive board there.
No.
Was able to read it, and her long arms, her huge frame, I don't even know what it is, but she's almost 6 feet, 5'11", tallest player on the court. pretty much same size as Armstrong, as you see them go mano-a-mano there, and a foul called on Armstrong here. Chris will head to the line for 2. But Chris can read a lot of passes, and when she has such great wingspan, it's pretty hard to get around her, and she really helps build that wall in the paint, not allow any entrance in.
Anley's head coach was not happy with that.
No, and they've called it pretty tight so far tonight. Not sure they've done the best job. Refs have really varied this year. There's some that really
very strict, or some that let the game play on.
Yeah, I think some that really understand how to call it, really call it loosely, but make sure it doesn't get out of control. And there's others that just try to impose themselves on the game and not let players play. And it's a tough balance. You can't blame them, and especially environments can be very tough, especially when they're loud and rowdy, to try to control it, especially against the Spinnacle. What a pass to Ericat. Oh, that was
very quick and very clean.
And the Tigers were left standing there.
The Tigers didn't even have a second to react to that.
Yes, Ericat split the defense between 3 Tigers, who were left with their mouths open, wondering what had just happened. That was incredible. Ericat's cuts are just something special to watch. And talk about her aggressiveness, but the way she has worked on practice, off the ball cuts are one of the best generators of offense in basketball, and that has been so huge to the Trojans. Outlet pass to Ericat. What a great baseball pass. A little out of control there, can't finish, but the Trojans are pulling down tons of offensive boards tonight. That's really helping out their offense. They average 10.8 offensive rebounds, or 7.9 offensive rebounds per game, 20 rebounds overall, and you can't give the Trojans extra chances tonight, can you?
No, you can't. They'll just take them right up, and they'll leave Annalee just standing there.
Great job by the Trojans in the last couple minutes, bringing this high level of intensity and not going away. They want to continue fighting here, even though they lead by 19, and get themselves as confident as possible. Oh, the Tigers just can't buy a bucket right now.
No, they can't. They're just they're constantly missing that 3 right there, and they're just turning their chances over because they're not getting the offensive rebound. Yeah, camera's down for a second.
Oh.
It's working to come back. There it is.
Apologies for that. Costa's 3 ball in and out. Oh, what a good look there. That could have been huge to get it out to 22 and really get a comfy lead here, but the Trojans still in control if they can continue this lockdown defense. Annalee's going to hit some shots.
There's a 3. That's the first one in a little while.
And Bros sets, and if you keep on shooting 3s and they're open, and they've got some good looks, because the Trojans draw on the paint, it will happen at some point. Oh, my goodness. Ericat and Ambrose, or Hausman, excuse me.
Ericat just like hurled right over her.
Yeah.
This isn't track.
No, that's the aggressiveness by Ericat there. She was going to leave it all out, call the foul on her. 16 foul on the Trojans. So if they got to the 1 and got to another foul, they'd be in the 1-on-1 bonus. But only 20.5 seconds left on the clock. Shot clock turned off here. Annalee would like to finish with a bucket. Oh, Sabine just trying too much there.
Costa's able to keep them from driving in.
Trojans just know the tendency of the Tigers. The 3rd time they played, and they've been so ready for them. Weinberg is entered. That's not the pass
wild pass out wide. That's not what you wanted to do.
Yeah, especially
Costa was out wide over here on the sideline. It should have been a bounce pass right over to her.
Yeah, something you got to work on, be a little smarter. And Weinberg's only a sophomore.
And looks like we're into the 1-and-1 now.
Yeah, and that hurts now. The foul will get Annalee some free points. And the 3-throw line is the best way to get a team confident offensively, something that the Tigers obviously need to work on. But they're bound to get hot eventually, start hitting some 3s. And in both games that the Trojans played against them, Trojans won 60-52 here, January 12th, and then 2 weekends ago up at Sebastopol, Trojans pulled out a 47-43 victory. And both of those, Annalee got hot for a couple minutes, hit some 3s, and that's how they kept it close. They're a talented team. They can hit shots. That shot will not count. It was short end to ease. That is the end of the first half. Trojans in control. This one leading 32-17, a 15-point victory. But nonetheless, here is Griffin Epstein.
Matthew Columba.
Nonetheless, here, Trojans can't go to sleep. They've got to keep up playing this intensity. That was one of the better first halves I think they played.
That was one of the better first quarters that they played all season.
Yeah,
the second half was a little bit of a, it was a little bit of a more calm pace.
Yeah.
But they still held their lead, which is great.
A couple turnovers, but overall, I had to be really happy with that. But remember, the Trojans trailed by 13 here, and Annalee was able to turn it, or Trojans were able to turn it around and defeat Annalee by 8 points in that one. The Tigers, this is a key game for them. They want to improve their NCS seeding. An SCL Tournament Championship would mean something to them, especially how much they've fallen short of their expectations. They were the SCL favorites this year. They're going to play with a high level intensity. They're going to get hot. So Trojans have to keep that offense going. If they can continue to shoot those threes, continue to move the ball.
If they can bring back what happened in the first quarter, they will hold on to this game, no doubt about it.
And they're unstoppable, I think, really, if they play like that. Their defense is always spectacular. They guard so fiercely. They force turnovers. They lock down the paint. They force you to make those threes. And even then, they are always so good getting out to the three-point shooter and not making it easy for the Trojans as we get a camera fix there. Thank you, Ben.
Ben, would you like to come on air?
You can go if you want to, if you have to go. Okay. Thank you so much, Ben.
All right.
Ben Vandermeer, great job on camera so far this evening as Trojans lead by 15 here at the SCL Tournament Semifinal. Warrior is tuning in a little late, but that's all right. See you, Ben. Appreciate him tuning in, as always, to this one. And don't forget, our next scheduled live stream is the SCL Tournament Championship game. If the Trojans can close out the victory here tonight, they will be up there Friday night, 6 o'clock. We'll be live at Santa Rosa Junior College. And if the boys win tomorrow night up at Healdsburg, they will be in the SCL Tournament Championship game as well. That game would tip at 7:30. Looking forward towards that. Don't miss that. But as I was saying, if the Trojans play that way in the first quarter, their defense always superb. And offensively, the ball movement perfect. Tic-tac-toe passing. They just have everything in rhythm. And they're hitting threes from people that don't normally hit threes and so confident. How can they be stopped by anybody?
If they keep playing like they were, they can't really. Their passing was clean and crisp. We had a little bit near that second quarter where they started getting a little sloppy. Hopefully Coach Strachan points that out so that way they can clean that up. But if they go back to that nice crisp passing, the other Annalee is not going to have a chance to even get a sight on that ball.
Absolutely. And it's so hard. You saw a couple back cuts by Eric Cat out of bounds, and Chris and Costa, such in rhythm, such great practice. And we didn't see it last Tuesday against Sonoma. I was concerning where was that rhythm going. It's really manifested. They've worked so hard from last year, 5-7 in SCL, 9-18, to 21-5, 12-0 in SCL, trying to get the remarkable sweep, trying to go undefeated in SCL, and then win the SCL Tournament Championship game. That would be something special if they could do that. Jamie Cantieri, one of our Trojan Live members, tuning in as well. We're up to 7 viewers. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Keep those comments going in the live chat. And tomorrow night we will not be live, but the Varsity Girls Soccer team will be opening up Steve Ellison Field, the first game at the newly, yes, I know, you're probably not very happy about this as a boys soccer player.
No, because we almost had our senior night there, and then they said no to us at the last minute.
So close. Varsity boys soccer team, which Matt is on, ended their season last week. Unfortunately, doesn't get to play there, but the girls team in NCS, they're the 6th seed.
No. The girls team deserves to play on that field. They'd had an amazing season, and the record, a lot better than boys team, I will say that, and they deserve to be the first to play on that field.
They will be facing Mount Eden tomorrow, the 11th seed in the first round of the NCS playoffs. It's going to be the first game at Ellison Field. Just the road features open right now.
Go ahead and let me know. Is it 100? Do you know if it's 100% done or if they're still doing some minor tweaks?
It is not. So
what is 100% done?
The field is completely done, completely usable. So that is why they're playing on it. I know the lacrosse teams last 2 days have been practicing on it. They did do a little renovations. Made it was ADA approved on the roadside and the ticket stand over there. That's all done. What they're still working on is the stuff around the home bleachers, which is on the far side of the field.
Oh, so more like the track and field stuff.
To Webster, yeah, they have to finish up some of the long jump area, some of the
high
stands
jump as
there.
well.
I believe the snack stand, the ticket stand over there.
Oh, are you talking about like the new buildings that they put in over
they
on
got a
there?
couple new buildings.
I just jetted right into the camera. My bad.
Right. That I think we're ready around mid-March, but I was really excited to hear just today that they announced they'd be playing there, and they're going to get to open up the field.
Will we be
exciting.
covering the opening of that?
We will be there tomorrow night. It will be the first game. We will have the full game, and it'll be uploaded.
We will be back in our normal spot up on Brazil's patio, hopefully.
Not tomorrow night, but we'll have the game on our YouTube channel.
So it's just we're just
night.
recording the game. We're not
recording
streaming
the game. Yeah.
All right.
But we will maybe, if things work out, maybe get a game up on Brazil's patio for either if the soccer team plays on in NCS and they get a win tomorrow. Who knows where they go in NCS?
Who are they playing tomorrow?
They're playing. No, they're not playing Mount Eden. Hold on, I'll check that in a minute. Anyways, they aren't playing Mount Eden, but they're the 6th seed. If Kennedy, who
are they going up against the 4th seed or the?
No, they're playing the 11th seed.
Okay, so they have a very high chance of moving on.
Seems like it. You really never know in soccer.
Mm-hmm.
The number 1 seed in NCS Division 3 is Annalee. And the Trojans played Annalee twice. They lost to the Tigers in their first game 2-1, and they blew a lead, really played better in the other game. They really played even with Annalee, and they had a 0-0 draw. So I think the Trojans can beat any team at NCS. It's not going to be
if they bring their A game.
They've struggled a little bit of late, especially offensively. And Clara Garcia, who's played really well goalkeeping, has been a little bit off her game the last few weeks. She needs to step it up. Trojan offense needs to make sure to get in the rhythm. They are coming on. They did have a tough loss last week to Sonoma Academy as well, 2-1, finished 3rd in SCL. But they have the talent, they have the skill, and it's a young team. There's no seniors, 1 senior on the team. They could win NCS. There's absolutely a possibility.
Oh, no, they could. Remind me, the record is what? Once you pull up there.
Yeah, I'll pull up the info in just a moment. Deanza, I know his team in the East Bay. So they'll face Deanza tomorrow, who did win their league. So it's not going to be easy. It should be a good one. Should be fun. We're about 3:08 away from, oh my goodness. Oh, we're about, Annalee kids, I tell you. You're good. We're about
at least he apologized.
At least he apologized. Annalee kids are nice, just a little reckless. 2:50 left before the 3rd quarter of this SCL Tournament Championship game. The Varsity Girls Soccer team 14-5-2 overall in the season. Only 2 league losses was the Annalee Sonoma Academy. But Deanza, their schedule wasn't as tough, but they're 12-6-1 overall. They have some talent. Should be a good one. In other winter sports,
league, they're 10-2.
10-2, yeah. So they've been a little off last few weeks. We'll see if they bring it tomorrow. It'll be interesting. And the opening of Allison Field, it's really looking nice too, isn't it?
It is. It's a very beautiful field. It's very clean, and I am very jealous. But nothing you can do now. I don't know. Whoever the senior class is, whenever they do a renovation, they always kind of get a little messed over.
Yeah, unfortunately. But the lacrosse teams will get to play there as well. The track team will get their home meets there. And those purple end zones, I really love those purple end zones. They're really pretty looking. The whole field, as you said, it just looks pristine. Once they get all the other buildings set up, it's really going to look wonderful.
Are they keeping the? Are they going to paint the field goals? Or are they going to leave them white?
I don't know. I assume they'll be left white. They could make them purple, though. Obviously, you don't use field goals.
What I was thinking that what I've heard some people saying on the football team is that they're going to put like the purple flags on the tips of them.
They might, yeah. Normally, field goals are yellow because you want them to stand out. Not sure about that.
Although the white still stands out a lot at night.
And we will have a full feature story coming up next month on the field. We're going to try to get a full tour of all the amenities and get that on Trojan Live, maybe with Mr. Sturr.
Those 2 buildings that were going over there, was one just a new snack shop, or is it like an apparel shop?
New snack shop, new ticket stand. There might be an apparel shop, too. I honestly don't know.
I knew for a fact that they were renovating the old ticket stand.
Right. They're going to have 2. They're going to have one on the road side, one on the home side, I know.
One on the – so you know the very old building that has like the rock with like all the names in that?
Yeah.
That old ticket stand. Did that is that still there? Or did they take that out?
They did keep that.
They did keep that?
Yeah.
So what I'm wondering is if the touchdown, the corner kick cafe or whatever they call it.
Right.
Is that turned into
I don't
the
think
ticket
that's
stand?
going to be used. No, I think they're going to have a new snack stand. I'm not exactly sure though. We'll see. We'll have a tour. We'll get it on Trojan Live. I'm really excited. I'm excited for tomorrow. It's gonna be something special. Unfortunately for the senior class and the football team, they can play there. But it's going to be amazing. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Going to be amazing for the generations to come. Oh,
And I
Matt's got to get up on
camera.
camera. Yeah, turn off your mic. We'll talk to Matthew Columba later. He's going to run up the camera in just a moment. Meanwhile, Annalie is forced to foul here early. Claire Brown drove into the rack out of your picture. And we'll head to the line for 2. Appreciate Matthew Columba joining me. And see what the Tigers have halftime adjustments here. They're going to have to find a way to get their offense going, switch things up. And they're going to have to make their free throws, too. That's not going to help either. Up to 10 viewers. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Feel free to comment on the live chat. We got Jamie and Warrior on there. If you like this video, check out all of our other Varsity Girls and Varsity Boys basketball videos. I think we got almost up to 20 for the whole season for both. Goodness. Well, you talk about a captain not confident. We talked about Claire Brown's struggles for the Tigers. She just airballed a free throw. She is struggling right now, and the Trojans need their captains, Devine and Brown, 2 of the seniors on the team, and they have an experienced team, 6 seniors, to really step up. They won the SCL Tournament Championship last year, lost a couple players, but they returned so many. They came in the heavy SCL Tournament favorites, SCL Championship, SCL League favorites as Costa traveled. But they just weren't able to develop it and had those 2 losses to the Trojans we mentioned. They had some good non-league wins. They beat Maria Carrillo, beat Vintage, beat Sonoma Valley in non-league. They played very competitively with Montgomery, who's one of the powerhouses in SCL. The Trojans defense forces another turnover, but and they had a victory over Sonoma Valley and Healdsburg early in their season, but especially late it seems with that loss to the Trojans as they blew a lead, it's Monson's off the mark. Tigers just haven't been the same team, and Raquel Gomez and the whole team's just look frustrated. They haven't been able to click, the opposite of the Trojans. They've clicked so perfectly, so many wins. They played so well. Great defense again by the Trojans, and a little bit too fast running the break there. Chris can't get to it. Trojans need to calm down, and I don't think Coach Ratchin was very happy with that offensive effort so far, and that's often you'll see. You get out of the locker room, looks like a little bit drop of intensity. That offense was not super strong there, a little sloppy. You got to switch things around, find a way to work and wake up the team, because if the Tigers get their shots going, watch out for the Trojans. If they get into cold snaps, the one concern this year, sometimes they have not been able to get out of cold snaps all game long, and they've had to hold on by their teeth, and they found ways to win. Piner, maybe the Piner game we live streamed, they won 43-42. They were up by 13 in that game, and the prospectors chipped away, got hot, hit some threes, and they nearly won that game. Trojans just held on, and there's a 3-ball. Julie Ambrose from downtown. She has been the 1 3-point shooter for the Tigers, and now Costa stepped on the line. Well, Trojans need to pick up their intensity right now. It's definitely down out of the locker room. The Tigers cheering. We talked about it at the halftime break. They're going to want it. They're going to push, and they are not going to go away quietly at all. They're going to bound to get hot. Be interesting to see if they go back, try to get Armstrong involved at all. Haven't seen anything from Malaya Armstrong. Big number 33 on Chris. Brown just throwing up crazy shots there, and with the long arms of Chris, good luck even getting a good look there. Good play by Temple to poke it out. Stay Tiger ball. Good hands by the Tigers, and it's Annalie ball. Trojans forcing it right now. You want to get back to that tic-tac-toe, that offensive rhythm, back cuts, and get everybody in sync and confident right now. Forcing things, and once the offense from forced shots become forced, you lose confidence, you start turning the ball over, and it can snowball. Tabine with the bank. Well, that we talked about forcing Chris out of the paint. She was drawn in there. They didn't let her force out the stop as the Tigers get a steal. Wonderful passing to Tabine, who lays it in. And we have a ball game on our hands, down to 8. Trojans trying to run the floor. The Tigers were getting a little too excited. Oh, my gosh. Courtney Temple's just not the player you want on the end of that transition. That was great transition there Tigers a little slow back getting back in their celebration, but Temple only 1.1 point per game. She did hit a shot early, but not able to get it there. Travel up and down on Devine. She's still been out of control today. But good job by the Tigers making some adjustments. They've drawn Chris out of the paint. Foul there. That's a break. Getting close to 5 seconds. Foul on Ambrose, first on the Tigers. Forced Chris a little bit out of the paint. Hit some threes. That's opened up it. And they just haven't thrown up crazy shots. Tigers have passed it around, gone into a little bit of a rhythm, and made the Trojan defense work, because you just drive it in, throw up crazy shots. It's a field day for the Trojan defense. With turnovers, you become predictable. It's a lot of fun. Costa fouled there with a good aggressive move. Almost collides with her own team bench there. Second team foul now. First foul on second foul, excuse me, on Brown. Shreenera Kat's going to re-enter. Had good production early, 6 points. Thought Martin might have a big game. The way she started, she had 4 of the first 6 points for the Trojans in that scintillating first quarter, 20 points, but was unable to continue that. And Coach Retchen's been uncertain at points how to play her. She's gotten less time of late just because she struggled with her shot. And when you have players step up, it can be hard to get every 1 minute. The Trojans are just that deep. Only 3 seniors on this team. As Pate just wasn't looking for it. No points so far in this quarter. Oh, my goodness. Tigers on a 10-0 run dating back from the second quarter, and they got a little bit of momentum late in that second quarter when they hit a couple shots, got the last 4 points after they were ice cold, as that 3 is off the mark from Ambrose. Off, it's a board pulled down by the Tigers. Their bench is really getting excited about this, and they pulled in another. They're just having more height, more fight, more hustle right now. Great play. Force it inside. And there is Armstrong finally getting involved. She heads to the line for Tall. And now the third on Eric Cat. She might have to sit back down with foul trouble. Now they're concerned. Trojans have dealt with some foul trouble. They play so aggressively. They can rack up those fouls. Looks so almost opposite of what we saw when these teams last played here. Trojans Annalee led by 13. Had an amazing second quarter. Oh, apologies there. We're just fixing the camera for a moment. Be fixed in just a moment. Armstrong hits her both of her 3 throws, if you didn't see that. Matthew Kalemba up top on camera. I'll be fixing in a moment. Annalee applying a press right now. And that's just, it unnerved the Trojans a little in the second quarter. We're able to fight through it, get some good ball movement, but they have gone silent here. Martin trying to wake it up. But right now, everything is close. Great effort by Chris to force the foul, and Eric Cat goes down hard. A hard foul there on Claire Brown. Trojans will get so many players back next year. Cost is going to be a big loss, obviously, the team captain, and Temple has great leadership. Martin's, especially defensively, such a great player. Hausman's going to enter for Brown. But you're going to get almost the entire 9 of the 12 players returning last year. After you 8 return from last year's team, you get so much experience as Eric Cat tiptoes the sideline. They're going to continue to get better next year in a new league. It's going to be fun. Great pass inside to Chris. Finally, they score here in this quarter. It ends the now what was a 14-0 run by the Tigers, and they're going to have to hope that this isn't the opposite of the Trojans' big comeback against Annalee when they played nearly a month ago in January. Put the Trojans alone undefeated in first place. It was the statement game announcing they were back as a varsity girls basketball dynasty and a team competing for championships in that victory. They put up 60 points there. Remarkable offensive effort. Thought they might top that, get their highest scoring output in this one. The way they put up 20 in the first, but they've really cooled down here. Force a turnover there. And that's going to always help your offense. Force some turnovers, get out on the break. Good defense leads to good offense. Oh, try to go backdoor to Costa there. A little bit too forced, though. Still feels a little forced, little stressed right now. Trojans are feeling that they've gone cold, and it's affecting them. Can they pick it back up? Because the Tigers are playing better right now offensively. They are in this to win it. They could have gone away. They trailed by as much as 18. That 3 off the mark. They've cut it down to as low as 6 just a minute ago. Ken trying to force it into Eric Hadd, and the Trojan supporters putting their heads in their hand. It's too forced there by Jaden Chris. Interesting timeout by Raquel Gomez to call the timeout there. Full timeout on the Tigers. She has to encourage them. Defensively playing better, reading the Trojans' passes, but Trojans too forced right now. They're going back to their old habits, just trying to force it into the players they know best. They need to get work on those plays, those back cuts, what you draw up on the chalkboard, what you practice and practice. And they'll start hitting shots, you start getting confidence, and it snowballs the other way because when it's really a pendulum for them, and it swings rather wildly in every game. You get the pendulum where everything's working, and they're hitting everything, and everything is clicking perfectly. And this team has clicked perfectly, but they have points in this game where looks like last year, and the offense, nothing is working right, and it snowballs in that other direction where they can't seem to hit for the life of them. And seeing a little bit of that here. 2 points so far in this quarter, and Annalie's got some better ball movement. You knew they were going to get in a rhythm at some point, and they have. Winner moves on to the SCL Tournament Championship game Friday night, where they will face the winner of Healdsburg and Sonoma Valley. Trojans swept both of those teams as they've never lost an SCL game. Annalie split with both of those teams. Great tip drill by Chris, and Scacalosi, who has great aggressiveness on the Trojans, will head the other way and force a foul. The junior Angelina Scacalosi has improved so much this year. More than 2 point per game increase from last year, and she plays with a great aggressiveness, physicality, plays angry, she tells us. As they force it into Chris, jump ball, arrow points towards the Trojans. Plays with high-level aggressive physicality, and often the team gets angry when they're down, and that's been the way that they've been able to wake themselves up, because they had a lot of droughts in some of their non-conference games against Novato, Casa, just to name a few, where as Eric Hadd hits the 3, that could be big. The Trojans went ice cold, and they never woke out of it, but that's a big 3 from Eric Hadd, and they extend the lead back out to double digits. Back out to 11. Oh, good pass inside to David. Jaden Chris is better. Raquel Gomez is furious. They've called it pretty tight, but they called it a lot tighter, I think, in the first quarter. They've been a little bit looser here, or first half. It's been a little bit looser in the second half, but Gomez wants to see better consistency from the refs, and arguably she's right based on consistency. Ambrose is the one player for the Tigers who's second in scoring on the team, who's really shot well, hit some threes. Help the Annalie offense stay above water. Barely. They're barely afloat right now. They're hanging on. They cut the lead to 6. Costa, though, with a turnover there, and the Trojans' offensive struggles here in this third have given the Tigers a chance. They want to be playing Friday night and try to defend their trophy from last year. They won the SCL tournament last year, did not win the SCL regular season. That was Sonoma who won it last year, but they beat Sonoma Valley in revenge, as they had Sonoma was the undefeated SCL champions last year. Scacalosi hits the 3. 14-point lead. Timeout, Raquel Gomez. What a huge one that is. Trojans finished undefeated SCL with Sonoma last year. Tigers got revenge on them in the SCL Tournament Championship game last year, but Tigers trying to get revenge on their 2 losses, but 2 huge 3s hit by Eric Hadd and Scacalosi. And then good job with that ball movement. Get it inside to Chris, but draws in the defenders. You kick it back out, lead some room. Much better ball movement last couple minutes, and you knew they were going to start hitting their shots. They have shot the 3 ball really well tonight. I think their best 3-point shooting of the night, and that's been something that they've struggled in for a lot of the course of the year. 22% 3-point shooting, and Pate's been the main girl, but Scacalosi's hit 1. Cassidy Bacon is hit 2. They've gotten production from a lot of people, and when you're not just relying on your main stars and main scorers and Eric Hadd and Chris and Costa to score, and you can find other players pick you up. That is so huge, gives you so much confidence that everyone plays better. Air ball there, and all the hard work that the Tigers did to cut it down to 6 to suddenly back out to 14, and that has to be really demoralizing. Great cut inside by Chris. The pass was even sweeter by Pate in motion. The play was there, clearly drawn up in the huddle, and suddenly the lead is back out to 16. Eric Hatt reading that pass perfectly. Your passes have to be so crisp, so clean, and not predicted. The Trojans know where it's going. Scacalosi down the baseline. Foul called. Oh, I'm sorry. Just called it out on the Tigers. That definitely called it a lot looser in this third quarter. A lot less fouls called. Substitutions on both sides. Cassidy Bacon, who we mentioned, will re-enter. She is at a big game. 2 3-pointers here. Don't forget to stay tuned after the game. We'll talk to some of the stars of the game. And Bacon way off on that one. And Coach John Ratchin as well. His team hoping to go 13-0 against SCL foes and complete the sweep of an undefeated SCL regular season championship and the SCL Tournament Championship before they head to NCS next Tuesday. And that's what makes these games so important. Besides the SCL Tournament is Eric Hatt's feeling it. Oh, just off the back iron there. Oh, this place would have gone nuts. It's been a good environment so far with some students. Lots of fans and community have shown out as they've really been impressed by how good this girls basketball team has played this year. But that jumper off the mark, offensive board by Hausman. She can't finish. Tigers try again. Lauren Lyman, a senior we haven't heard much from, hits that 3. Badly needed by the Tigers. They break out of their cold snap. They hadn't scored a field goal in 3 minutes. We cut down to 12. There is a 1 second differential between shot clock and game clock. A little too far there for Bacon. Trojans turned it over. Tiger ball with the shot clock turned off. And finishing quarters is so vital. Trojans didn't finish that second quarter vital. And only took some momentum into the locker room, and they went on a 10-0 run to start the third quarter here. Tigers could get 2 straight buckets here. That would be huge. That's a crazy shot they'll put up there. So much traffic, and last off Annalee, Trojan ball here with 3.6 seconds left. Tigers press has been effective tonight. Once they start applying in second quarter, it's really helped them cool down. Trojans have tried some baseball passes, but sometimes it's still advised. Costa can force those. They're not going to get a shot off there. So we've reached the end of 3 quarters here. Petaluma Trojans leading 41-29 over their rival, the Annalee Tigers, looking to get a sweep of Annalee. And as we mentioned, big game for NCS. Trojans at the moment seeded 12 by Max Preps in NCS Division 2. But those rankings are never exactly accurate. So the Trojans, I would suggest more like a 10 or a 9 seed. And the rules for NCS are in round 1 if you win your league, as the Trojans have done, as long as you are facing a team that also did not win their league, you will get the home game. So looking at the teams that the Trojans would likely play, Tamalpais, actually the most likely team I think is crosstown rival Casa Grande. None of those teams in those area are league champions. So the Trojans are pretty much assured that they are going to be hosting next week no matter where they are. And it's probably somewhere in the range of 8 to 12. I'd guess 9 to 10 would be accurate. And maybe against crosstown rival Casa Grande, who they played early December and lost 43-31. That's not the way Annalee wants to start the fourth quarter with a carry. Trojans played crosstown rival Casa. They lost 43-31. That was one of those cold strouts that dropped them. They were trailing only by 3 at the end of 3. It was actually tied in that game, and Annalee banked in a 3 to finish the third quarter as Eric Hatt lays it in, and the foul, her second 3-point play. Oh, she's just been brilliant again tonight. Oh, she's something special, the sophomore, able to finish through contact, extend the lead out to 14, and the Trojans answered when Annalee made a run, and it's going to be hard now for them. No one realized that that was and one, and the players just stood still for that, and it last went off Annalee. Oh, the Tigers, you can feel the frustration, and their thoughts are swimming what could have been this season. They'll head to NCS as well. They're going to be on the road, no doubt, in Division 3, but they're probably around to 13 or 14. seed. Could be rough sledding, but Trojans in that Casa game really played even with the Gauchos for 3 quarters, and then they just went cold as the Tigers will head to the line with Hausman. Trojans just went cold in that 4th quarter, could not score, and the Gauchos were able to pull away there for that 12-point victory in that Friday night rivalry game. But Trojans have improved so much since then, as the first free throw is good from Hausman. Tigers need that. They got to, chipping away is not an option anymore. They got to go full throttle. And definitely a press and forcing some turnovers could be vital. Not good defense there, though. Chris with a huge run. Trojans have been able to get some buckets out on the break. I think the Trojans could they'd be the favorites against the Gauchos. They've really improved so much. They had their struggles. That was probably when they were playing their worst this year, around that time against Casa, where especially their offense was lukewarm. Bacon couldn't hit. Oh, she's played well tonight, got some good looks, spaced the floor well. I think the Trojans could really beat Casa, but no matter who they play, they're probably going to be underseeded because they've improved so much, and they have a couple bad non-conference losses to Casa, to Novato, to Rancho Cotati. Really, they're 3 poor losses. Their other 2 losses to California Colfax, but those are 2 extraordinarily strong teams. Those aren't bad losses, but and the weakness of SCL, it's not the strongest league in the world. Could see them lower as they're going to, after some deliberation, rule it annually ball there. I think the Trojans will be favorites at home NCS playoffs. That's a week from tonight. Should be a 7:30 tip, and we'll be live for whoever they are playing. And it'll be their first NCS game since 2014-2015 season, as the Trojans force another turnover there, which was the first year after legendary Coach Doug Johnson retired. They spent 3 years out in the wilderness struggling, but they found the Coach Ratchin, who I don't know if he can fill the shoes of travel there. Don't know if he can fill the shoes of legendary Coach Doug Johnson, who led the 2000 Varsity Girls basketball team to a NorCal State Championship, overall state runner-ups, and they were just a dominant powerhouse in Sonoma County. But Coach Ratchin has really brought them back in just 2 years. He's done an outstanding job. They found their coach for the long term to build this into a dynasty once again. Great pass into Chris. Still can't finish, and we'll see if the Trojans can win that. I mean, it's probably going to be a hard second game. You're going to be facing a high seed, possibly a 2 or 3 seed. But if the Trojans can get the offense going like we saw in the first quarter, as we said, they can play with just about anybody the way their defense is consistent. They just said if they put a complete game together of their elite level of play that they can play, they can be something special. Who knows how far they can play in NCS. They're certainly not a team that you will want to face if you're a playoff team. They're going to be coming in very hot if they can close out this one and win on Friday night against Healdsburg Sonoma. Tenacious defense there by the Tigers. They're still battling. The Trojans have gone a little cold again. And turnover there. Tigers playing good defense, forcing the Trojans to get cold again. If they can just hit some threes or get something going, they're going to at least make the Trojans sweat in this one. 3 ball is short, though, from Lyman. Tigers just haven't hit enough threes. Just passing has tuned in. Appreciate it. That's great ball movement. Eric Katz's long jumper, though. A little too strong. Offensive board pulled down. Great cut by Eric Katz. Just couldn't finish. Pate pulls down another rebound. And then the foul. Great battle by Pate. Strong rebounder. 2.1 rebounds per game. Up from just a rebound per game last season. And Trojans do such a good job battling the paint, pulling down those boards. They'll be aggressive with anybody. And the trademark of a strong Varsity Girls basketball team is the aggressiveness and confidence. And you watch it, elite state powerhouse like Cardinal Newman from Santa Rosa's beautiful inbounds play to Chris, who lays it in. We've seen that all night long. They play with an aggressiveness, physicality that you don't see at a lot of the other levels of this sport, as the basketball comes right to me. And the Trojans at points with that intensity really play at that high level. I'm not sure they have the talent of Cardinal Newman, but Last year they got blown out by Montgomery, who's second best team in MBL and probably the second best team in Sonoma County. I think they could absolutely play with the Vikings if they play their A game, and especially the way they played in the first quarter offensively. Hit some threes, space the floor. Chris is confident. Everyone's feeling good. No one in foul trouble. Your defense is locked down, forcing turnovers. How do you stop them? You got to get players that are superbly more talented than the Trojans, because they're going to play harder and more physical than you at most stages of the game. And wonderful passing to Ericat. Oh, that was gorgeous. Wow. Costa to Chris, who's a fabulous passer, even though she's the big girl. And Ericat with a wonderful cut. They just drawn it up so well. They know where they're going. Annalise been left gasping at straws, wondering where those white blurs just came from. Out of control here for the Tigers, and oh, that hit the face of Atkins. They're just losing their grip on this one. Trojans throw it away there. Timeout, Raquel Gomez. Trojans in control, looking like they are going to close this one out. They lead by 16 points. 3:56 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Try to move on to the SCL Championship game, and they've really played well in this gym as well. They only have 2 losses here out of their 5. Had the tough loss to Novato, which we live streamed, and also Rancho Cotati. But boy, have they turned it around and improved this year so much. And they really showed it. I think that the Tigers challenged them in both their games, and I was concerned about this game. I think out of the 3 SCL teams that are really all beat up on each other with Annalee, Healdsburg, and Sonoma, the Tigers, because they have a strong size and they have maybe the best talents out of all the 4 teams, they can. Matt, we lost the camera. Oh, so we're good now. Oh, what are you doing? Matthew Clem is having too much fun tonight. Must be the Skills USA jacket. 3 ball is good. Laura Murnan, the Tigers aren't going to go quietly, but they're going to have to force some turnovers, no doubt. They are running out of time, 16 fouls, so they will have the Trojans in the bonus on the next foul. Trojans have done a great job passing-wise tonight here. Oh, that's wonderful from Chris. That's the confidence you want to see. Sometimes she gets down on herself, doesn't always play at that same level, but Chris does a great job getting to the rack, getting to the line there. And they get it to her a good spot there, lower block. She's already has the upper hand there, and with her size and her skill and her versatility, so hard to deal with. And I think a Tiger team, most talented team in SCL, they have more talented and more experienced players than the Trojans, but the Trojans have completely outplayed them tonight. It was tight the first 2 times these played, and the Trojans have just completely controlled this game on both sides of the floor, and it's been remarkable that how they've been able to put it out together. Everything has clicked. Weinberg enters, Cataruzzoli out. Trojans hold on to this lead a couple more minutes, and Coach Ratchin can rest his players before Friday's big game. And again, if you did not hear, we will be live from Santa Rosa Junior College Hale Pavilion. It's a wonderful gym. Always so much fun to watch the SCL and MBL Tournament Championship games from there. Friday night, 6 p.m. The Trojans can hold on here. They will tip against either Healdsburg or Sonoma, who the Trojans have both played some really good games against both of those teams this year. Wonderful passing again. Oh, Pate just couldn't finish there. Trojans have missed some bunnies tonight. That's something to work on. But, boy, the pass has been there. Out of control there was Claire Brown. Frustration for Annalee. 13-13 overall, 7-5 in league. Just haven't lived up to their expectations this year of what they thought they could be. And if you're still tuned in, 2:54 left, you're welcome on the live chat. Tell us where you're tuning in from. And tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so tell us if you're doing anything special for that. Wish everyone a very happy Valentine's Day. I don't know if we're going to have anything special on the Trojan Live Morning Show live at 8:30 right here. 8:30 a.m. tomorrow morning for Valentine's Day. Should be a fun day around school. Singing Valentine's with the choir. Always a lot of fun as they stop into classes. Brown splits the pair. Jaden Chris night is done. Lila Bacon's going to get some nice playing time. The sophomore. Great effort by Chris tonight. Costa somehow just lost that. Annalee got into a little bit of a run. This gym got nervous here as Brown heads to the line. They cut the lead down to 6. With 4 minutes left in the third quarter, they had a 14-0 run, and it looked like we could be seeing an opposite of what we saw last month when the Trojans came back from double digits to beat the Tigers. But Trojans hit a couple threes. We're going to remember the Eric Cat 3, the Skakalosi 3. That really woke up the Trojan offense. Their ball movement improved. Their whole offense and psyche improved, and it lasted less than a quarter, their struggles, and they didn't allow it to snowball on them. And they've continued to show their improvement and rebounding from those tough stretches in their games, and they have just improved so much all season long. That's the sign of a strong coach and especially a strong-minded team. Last touch by the Tigers, 11-point lead here. 2:40 left to go in the fourth quarter. Oh, another great pass to Bacon. She lays it in. We might have to talk to Cassidy Bacon after the game. She's played very well tonight. Hit 2 threes early, and the Trojans had their best three-point shooting game of the season at the right time. That has really helped offensively. They're up to 50 points as Weinberg pulls down a rebound. Good to see from the sophomore. And the jumper off the mark there from Bella Weinberg, the 5'8" power forward, who's going to be really good in the future, as Brown with nice movement to finish. Lead is cut down to 11 here. Annalee trying to apply a press here. Oh, that's not what you want. Can't give a slimmer of hope to the Tigers. This isn't over just yet. Lila Bacon moving her feet. And yes, Lila Bacon is the older or the younger sister of Cassidy Bacon. Cassidy junior, Lila sophomore. They played on the JV girls basketball team as well last year. As Bacon has the ball now, 8 points for her, a season high. Trojans have shot well from 3. She started off early in that 20-point quarter. She hit 2 of those threes, and it just seemed like everything boded well from there, as it has all season long for the Trojans. Everything has worked out all right. They've been able to finish, found ways to finish games. 3 ball a little too strong from Lila Bacon, a little bit ambitious there. Nice Euro step, and heading to the line will be Julianne Brose, who's been the best player on the Tigers tonight. Hit some nice threes, shot well, and she helped keep the Tigers in that game, closed it to 6, made things interesting. Trojans have controlled this game in impressive fashion. You know, whoever it is, Sonoma or Healdsburg, both teams are going to have real challenges playing them. Bacon takes the seat and gets a huge applause. And how about this? Marissa Temple called up from the JV squad just for this game. The younger sister of Courtney Temple will enter for her first varsity action. She gets the ball right now and then turned it over, but this is a really nice moment to see her out there. Foul and 1. That gets the Annalee pumped up here, and don't look now, but the lead is down to 9, and Coach Ratchin was starting to get his reserves in, get some playing time for some people that haven't. Trojans haven't hit a whole lot of shots of late. I'm sorry, the lead is down to 7. So Brown hits this one, and suddenly we have a 2-possession game. I don't really know where this came from, but Trojans turned the ball over a couple times. Really, they sort of went on cruise control, felt like this game was over. I went on cruise control too, and the Tigers said not so fast. They showed some fight. They have their experience. They're not going to go quietly. Free throw is good here. Trojans need to hit 1 or 2 more shots to close it out. Their free throw shooting has been much better this year. 50% from the line this last year, up to 60% this year, and especially their leading players. But that is forced here. Watch out here. You don't want to foul. Clock is your friend right now. 3 ball, just short. Well, that would have given them some confidence. Costa with a hard-fought board and the foul called on the Tigers, and they are in the 1-and-1 bonus. Trojans can put this away at the line. It didn't look like they were going to need it. Marissa Temple was entering. The lead seemed to be stuck at 10, but the Trojans have just 2 points in these last 4 minutes, and it wasn't really a drop of intensity. It was a drop in gameplay, and just based on how the game was going and let the Tigers back into it a little bit. Something that you don't want to do. You get nervous in big games, and especially in NCS, even the SCL tournament next week. You've got to be careful. Or the SCL Tournament Championship game on Saturday is Costa with another wonderful block, and then pulls down a hard footboard. That might clinch it. Oh, she's so good with blocks. Such great intuition. Temple. Oh, she couldn't finish. Jump ball, arrow points towards the Trojans. Tigers have to foul now here with 3.2-second differential shot clock and game clock. But against good teams, you can't let them back in. You get nervous. Start missing your free throws. Anything can happen. I've seen a lot of high school basketball games where the better team is trailing, but they hang around and suddenly gets close. You have to make some tough inbounds plays. Someone steps on the line, misses a free throw or two, a three is hit, and suddenly you've lost the game and you don't know how. Talk to the Varsity boys basketball team about that. Their crushing loss to Healdsburg. Big free throw hit by Temple, who's not the best shooter and certainly does not have the cleanest shot. It's a line drive every time, but as long as it goes in, that's all that matters. Trojans, as we mentioned, swept both Sonoma and Healdsburg. They defeated Sonoma on senior night last Tuesday in the ugliest of ugly games, a 25-18 victory, but they were so good defensively in that one. And also defeated as Costa gets the stealing steal, and she is fouled. That will do it. Nicole Costa, so good defensively. She's been down a little bit offensively this year, but the mark of the team captain, reading passes, getting blocks. And she didn't want this decided at the line. She stepped up defensively and make sure to put this game away safe and secure. First time the Trojans played Sonoma won 40-30, but that one was also tight. And the game against Sonoma senior night, Costa block was the difference there. They were up by 2. Nicole Costa had a ferocious block. There was a huge student section for that game on senior night. And the Trojans had back-to-back field goals for the only time in that game after that huge block. The 40-30, they had a big fourth quarter. That game was tight throughout. So Sonoma prevents a lot of challenges, especially how good they are defensively. Defending SCL champions are young. They only have 3 seniors. Not a lot of returning players. Fallon Lawrence, Pate heads to the line for now in the double bonus. The Dragons provided a challenge. Healdsburg, they finished second in SCL, and what a season they had. They really surpassed expectations. It was huge for them to finish second. They hadn't finished second in SCL since 2003. And first free throw good by Pate. Trojans had a tough out of victory against the Greyhounds, 40-36 in overtime in their SCL first game. And it wasn't easy as Pate splits the pair. It wasn't easy against the Greyhounds in the return trip here to Petaluma. We live streamed that one. Trojans pulled out a 43-29 victory against the Greyhounds. That one was pretty tight. Trojans again had a little bit of a spurt in that fourth quarter just to pull away. We've seen that in a couple games. Able to finish and show great poise. Sometimes when the offense isn't great all game, but both those teams have great defenses. We'll see who they face, but the Trojans move there. We'll move on to the SCL Championship game. Either way, and have to be delighted with their play tonight. The final score, Petaluma Trojans 54, Italy Tigers 44. The Trojans move to 22-5 on the season. They finished SCL 12-0, but they're now 13-0 against SCL opponents, and they've got one more game in, as PA announcer Michael Barabalt's mentioning, the final SCL Tournament Championship game as we get into realignment next year. But Healdsburg or Sonoma, the Trojans are going to look to close out what would be a remarkable SCL stretch where they get the sweep, not lose a regular season game, and win the tournament, get the banner and the trophy as well. That would be something special. We are going to grab interviews in just a moment, so stick around right here as the Trojans celebrate this 10-point victory. Just too much for the Italy Tigers tonight. A great effort by them. We're going to talk to head coach John Ratchin and try to talk to Cassidy Bacon in a moment. Can you help me with interviews before you get that, Matt? Thanks. And do not forget, Friday night, 6 p.m. will be the tip. SCL Tournament Championship game, either Healdsburg or Sonoma. We will be live 6 p.m. from the Santa Rosa Junior College. That is our next live stream. Do not miss that. But also check out our YouTube channel. By tomorrow, end of tomorrow night, we are going to have the varsity girls soccer first round NCS game up, which should be a lot of fun because it is the opening of the brand new Steve Ellison Field after it was remodeled. So that is going to be really cool to see. And you, of course, can check out full highlights, as always, on our morning announcements. Appreciate everyone tuning in to the stream today. In our next live stream here at home, likely next Tuesday, as the varsity girls basketball team will open up NCS play. Could they play CASA? That could be incredible. They will likely be at home in the first round of the NCS playoffs. If they can win on Friday, they will have a 15-game winning streak. Overall now 19-2. Whoa. 19-2 in their last 21. Our banner is falling. Can you get the audio right there so we can test that? All right, we're going to get the interviews ready in just a moment. We'll be back in just a moment. Testing. All right. We're going to try to talk to Cassidy Bacon just a moment. Stick right here. All right, Cassidy Bacon will be making her way over in just a few minutes. Players, oh, actually, she's right there. Hold on. Can you make sure the audio is good? All right, Cassidy Bacon joining us after a season-high 8 points tonight. You were really shooting well, had those 2 big threes early. How are you able to get in a rhythm?
I don't know. I've been practicing my shot a lot in practice, and I think that's helped a lot. So good energy tonight, too.
Team, especially in that first quarter, had fantastic offense, 20 points in that first quarter. How are you able to get into a rhythm and intensity that I don't think we'd seen all season long?
Well, it's our 3rd time playing Annalee, and we really want to beat them for the 3rd time, and it's for the trophy, I guess. So yeah, really wanted it.
Guys have had some great back cuts tonight, inbounds plays. How have you been working on these cuts and practices to help out your offense?
We work a lot on it. That's one of the big things we do. We do shooting, and we work on our inbound plays and our defense, which are our strong suits, I think. So, yeah. And
you mentioned the defense. It's been dominant all season long. No team has really been able to solve it. What makes your guys' defense so effective?
We change it up. Every game there's a little change, and the team's not expecting it, so it really gets them.
SCL Tournament Championship game on Friday at Hale Pavilion and SRJC. The big lights are going to be on. Guys have a chance to bring home now both the banner and the trophy. How do you deal with the high pressure and expectations?
We've wanted this for a long time, so I think we've all been preparing for it for a while now.
Thank you, Cassidy. That was Cassidy Bacon, who had a fantastic game tonight, part of an offensive surge by the Trojans. They put up 50 points against a good Annalee team. Bacon with 8 points. We're going to talk to head coach John Ratchin as soon as they're out of the locker room. Can you press stop recording on there, Matt? Thank you. And always good to hear from Coach Ratchin as well. As you mentioned, on Friday, big lights, a lot of fans always show up. Really fun game. Hope some students will come as well for that game, either against Healdsburg or Sonoma. And speaking of other sports, Hannah,
tomorrow night, the varsity girls soccer team has their NCS first round, and we're with one of the team captains, and it is at the new Ellison Field. You guys are breaking open the new Ellison Field. What does that mean?
Oh my God, everyone's so excited. It just puts like the added pressure, like we want to win, like first game, like start the new field off right. Yeah, we've put in a good training today and we're ready for it.
And it is the NCS playoffs, round one, every team strong, but it feels like Annalee's the 1 seed. You guys have proven that you can play with Annalee. How far do you think you can go in NCS?
Oh man, I mean, I don't know. We haven't played against a lot of the teams there before, so it's going to be a fight, but I think we could go pretty far. I mean, we tied Annalee in their first seed, so I think we could do it.
And guys have struggled a little bit, I think, last few games, had that tough loss to Sonoma Academy. How do you get to that high level, I think, that you had earlier in the season?
I just think I don't know, we just have to fight for it. I think our drive was a little lacking that game, but we're all coming out ready to fight.
We're looking forward to it tomorrow night, Hannah. We will be having coverage of it.
Yeah, thank you.
Should be a lot of fun at Ellison Field tomorrow night. If you want to come out to the opener for Steve Ellison Field, the first game since it's remodeling, the construction crews did a great job. Matt's still jealous of the varsity boys soccer player. He'll get over it someday. Anyways, it's going to be a lot of fun. Only visiting side is open right now. They're still doing construction on the home side, but it's so great to have it open. Really unexpected. I don't think anybody was expecting it. And obviously the girls soccer team thrilled that they get to play there, and it's NCS. It's going to be so huge. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow night. We'll have coverage of that on our YouTube channel. And then other sports, the varsity boys soccer team, first winter team to end their season. They ended last week their season, a young team. They went through them struggles, got a couple wins. Alex Sosa could be going somewhere for college in soccer, though. He does mean a lot to this varsity boys soccer team that is rebuilding. They finished with 3 wins in SCL. The varsity boys basketball team, we mentioned it, tomorrow night at Healdsburg. Could we get 2 Trojan teams into the SCL Tournament Championship game? And the boys game is scheduled for 7:30 on Friday night. If the boys could, I don't know if it's a miracle, but if the boys could somehow pull out a victory at what will be rocking Healdsburg tomorrow, Healdsburg, the SCL champions, we'll see what happens. You want to join me, Michael? All right, Michael Barabal going to join me in just a moment. Has been following this girls basketball team all night long. We'll just use the mic. And especially offensively in that first quarter, that had to be one of the better quarters I think we've seen by the Trojans all season long.
Yeah, the team is, not to knock them, but they're not particularly a strong offensive team. They win with their defense. And it was nice to see they put up 32 points at the half. They had a nice 15-point lead, had a nice cushion. When Annalee made their run in the third quarter, they were still up, I think, by 8. So, it was a good shooting night. Cassidy Bagan had a great game. Kylie Pate hit some shots. Angelina Scacolosi had a big 3. So the team is gelling well right now, and I'm looking forward. They're gonna play Sonoma. Sonoma won. Okay. So they're gonna play Sonoma Friday at the JC. I think it'll be a fun atmosphere for them, and it'll be a good game to watch.
Yeah, it should be fun. You know the score of the Sonoma-Healdsburg game?
No.
Okay.
I just heard they won.
Well, good to know. And Sonoma has given them a lot of problems offensively that they haven't been able. Trojans have really struggled to develop their offense against Sonoma. They had 25 points last week against them. How do they make sure that they bring their offense against the Dragons?
Well, last week I think it was a game of where both offenses were not good at all. And, you're going to have games like that. And to be honest with you, I think it could be more of the same, because, it's the championship, it's the JC, there's going to be a big crowd. But I think as soon as the teams get settled in, I think after the first quarter is over, they'll be like, all right, it's still basketball, we're going to play. And, against Sonoma, they had a tough time getting it inside to Jaden Christ, and when they did, she missed some pretty easy shots. So I definitely see those shots going in on Friday night if they can get inside.
Okay, thank you so much, Michael. We're going to talk to Coach Ratchin in just a moment. I'm torturing head coach John Ratchin by by coming over here for the interview, but we appreciate but we appreciate that he has made his way over. Offense was so good in that first quarter, maybe the best that you guys have played all season long. How were you able to develop that rhythm?
You know, we just had the girls attacking, and it's always hard to beat a team 3 times, or so they say, but just came out with an attacking mindset, went at them, and were able to score some points.
Saw Cassidy Bacon have a big game tonight, and this team feels like they have so much depth. How important is that been to your guys' success?
I try to play as many people as I can, so it really helps us out a lot. It really does.
Feels like this team is gelling, especially offensively. The cuts were so perfect tonight. How have you guys been able to develop that and improve that over the course of the year?
It's something we've worked on since the summer, just you know, reading the defense and what they give you and taking what they give you.
Big game on Friday. It will be against Sonoma Valley in the SCL Tournament Championship game, probably the biggest stage that the team has played on all year with a lot of high expectations. How do you help the team deal with that?
You know what? We don't. We talk about it as the same team we've already beaten twice, including that high-scoring affair last week. So, you know, just be ready to grind it out and play some defense again.
Thank you so much, Coach. That was head coach John Ratchin of the Trojans, who get the 10-point victory tonight over Annalee in the SCL Tournament Semifinal to move into the SCL Tournament Championship game against Sonoma Valley on Friday night. The Trojans defeated Sonoma last week 25-18. It was an ugly game, and Sonoma's defense really outstanding, and they've really improved over the course of the year. Not a shocker that they beat Healdsburg. Trojans will have really have a test for them, and it's going to be big stage as well. Coach Ratchin seemed confident that they could deal with this big stage, and they've been poised and clicked all season long. So it seems like they should be able to do it, but we'll see. It should be a good one. 6 p.m. tip time. We will be live from Hale Pavilion, so do not miss out. That is our next live stream as the girls basketball team looks to raise a trophy after they have already raised an undefeated SCL tournament banner. For Matthew Columba, Van Vandermeer did a great job. I am Griffin Epstein. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good night, everyone.